So yeah, a small presentation about myself. Who is this guy talking about OT security? So I'm Claudio Sangaletti, and I'm working in this environment from a very long time. Yeah. Yeah, my wife said to me, you don't have to say you are an old guy, but okay. Luckily, I'm getting older, but still running, what as they say. So I'm basically an engineer, an industrial engineer, but I was let's say shifting my career into IT, into the IT side, and yeah, and finally getting into the OT area of security or cybersecurity. We had a very nice discussion about that, what it is, security and safety, because in some European languages, like in German and in Italy, they are the same word. But for me, it's not that bad, because I would say safety and security are anyway strictly related, as we can see after. I'm working today as the OT leader at the company Medmix, and in this role, I'm let's say establishing an operational technology program that will enable the company to get a very good and smooth start into the digital tomorrow that we are waiting for. So today we are talking about SME, so small and medium enterprise, because they are sometimes very, let's say, not that much looked into. And first, maybe a quote: "You are not too small to be hacked, you are too small to make the news." That is something that we really have to understand, because people sometimes think that being a small, medium enterprise is kind of protecting you. That's totally not true, as we also can see in the next slides. You are not too small to be hacked. That you have to really understand that if you are a small and medium enterprise, and you have to think about it. And small and medium business can be really a sweet spot for cyber criminals. Unfortunately, a lot of time they don't have the money to be capable to, and the resources to be capable to create this very big environment that corporation has. But they still have money that criminals want to steal, and they are a much more attractive target than standard consumer, let's say. And so this is my advice, really, to not think that you are too small to be hacked, because you are not too small to be hacked, actually. What it is that we have into the SME that we are facing as a big challenges into the security areas. We are struggling with budget, of course, yeah, because cybersecurity budget, it's always difficult to get, and you have to be capable to work together with your execom to make them understand that investment are needed. OT infrastructure, it's several times very old, because also as a small company, you maybe don't have the possibility to change very quickly your equipment. Of course, we have OT still gaps. I've seen mostly everywhere in small to medium company, there is just an IT generalist that is working for everything. And it's, I mean, of course, it is not his or her point of specialization to be an OT, let's say, security engineer. Then we have, of course, every day this OT IT integration, because nevertheless, even if we say, okay, we want to be sure, we want to be in the safe side, then of course production or business, were asking us, no, I want to connect the machines to see some result, to make a Power BI report, and that is where the problem starts. There is also a very big OT vendor dependency. So normally, this is also happening in big corporation, by the way, because you are normally buying machines from the same kind of supplier, and the supplier is telling to you, you get my machine or you don't get my machine. Especially if you are a small corporation, then you don't have the pressure, the financial pressure that you can apply to the vendor and to say, okay, no, I want the machine as I like it, with some specific security program inside. But that is also a very, very big pain point. And then finally, the OT incident response. We were also speaking about this in the panel. This is a very important thing because it's all the time not very well looked into until the problem is coming. When the problem is coming, it's too late. And then you realize that you are not prepared for it. So we are following up. What are some main security gaps that we have that we can think about it? For sure, hackers or bad actors, they are not looking for a challenge here. Now, today they are looking for money. It's not anymore the time of war games where people were trying to enter into the Pentagon. This is not the hacker anymore. The hacker today is someone that wants money from you. So they want to go in where it's easy to get that money. And for small and medium enterprise, sometimes this kind of, let's say, topics are allowing the hacker to really get an easy life. There is no inventory, so a lot of company doesn't have inventory. Not even a very basic one, because of course we all know it's very difficult to get an inventory, especially if you are in a very old situation, like the one that you can see there in the right, where you have different vendor, different machine, different type of software, and everything is more or less connected directly to the IT zone without any filtering, without any segmentation. Flat networks, of course, we are not having a hierarchic network, so we go into flat networks, everything is connected to everything, and this is very bad because when someone enter in one point, then they can go everywhere, of course. No monitoring, so no real-time visibility, so we don't even know exactly what is happening there. And still, even if it's something that we say all the time, but passwords are really a very big pain into the T area, because it's really difficult to convince people to maintain the password, to change the password, to use different passwords. So I would say these steps here are really something that we could do easily, and that will give a lot of advantage. But first of all, for me, as I also mentioned into the panel, awareness of people is the first thing that we have to think about. So what is very important? It's very important to get, as we said before, we need to get money. We need to get a budget there to be capable to do our OT program, and especially in small companies, this is really not easy because, yeah, of course, companies overlooking this kind of topics. So what we should do, we should really go for a risk-based prioritization, not thinking about what I'm worried of, what are the trends, what kind of tools do I have in the market. No, think about what are the risks for you and what are the risks that you want to cover, because there can be risks that for you are not so essential, and you are capable to say, okay, I know I have this risk, but I want to say, okay, it will not be so impactful in my company. The risk-based budgeting, it's of course winning over other type, because it can align directly with the business impact. So you can really say, okay, I need you to give me money because otherwise our business will be stopped in that way. Yeah? And you can really, in a better way, justify the money that you want to get. Yeah? So we can see here, for example, that it's a classical way of showing impact and likelihood. So for example, ransomware on PLC network is unfortunately very likely to happen, and it's a very high impact. While, for example, a vendor account compromise is a medium likelihood and a medium impact. So we have really to define what is important for us. We can also see that sometimes the cost is really very small related to the impact that we can have if the problem is happening. So my recommendation is always think on risk-based prioritization. Don't think about you want to solve everything. Don't think about you want to do what is the hype that is not important for you. Another quote, it's probably an old one, and probably a lot of you have already seen this quote, but for me, it's still a very actual one. So we tend to do things like the ostrich. We want to put our head under the floor and see, okay, there's nothing is happening, but that is exactly the wrong thing that we will do. So do your basic hygiene. Protect the things that are more important for you, and it's also very important to do that because of your of the face that your company is showing in front of the customers. The customer experience and the customer-centric idea, it's also something that we have really to think about when you're speaking about OT security. For me, first thing, it's always visibility. Yeah, it's. I mean, I know it's an old one again, but what can we do? If you don't know what you have, you don't know what you have to protect. So, knowing what is in the network, it's for me the first thing that you have to do. And inventory first, list of devices. You can start basic. You have to understand what is connected, what is updated, what is communicating. There are tools. Yeah, I mean, I have a personal experience using even a freeware tool, community supported. Don't worry. I mean, it's community supported tool are great. People are really putting a lot of investment into that, and you can do it. It's just take a few effort, and you can really do things very nice, even with very less costly tool, so you don't have to go for the $1 million tool, as I said before. And having a dashboard and realizing what is there, it's something very, very important, because it's giving you the idea that something is there. It's always like that. When you don't really see it, it's like it's not becoming real. Yeah, when you see it, it's becoming real. And of course, you don't have to do it in one day, but please stop to be blind and start understanding what you have in the network. People power. I mean, I'm basically a big culture of people power. For me, it's everything. You cannot work without people. Yeah, people are speaking now. Person are speaking now about AI, but I still believe this is still kind of a hype. People will be and will stay very important for a very, very long time. And if you want to speak about an OT security program, you have to think about people. Yeah? People like your management that need to support you. People yeah, like the one working in the office that also has to be very aware of the danger that is posing the connection between the IT and the OT world. Generate a lot of awareness and train a lot the people in the working area. They are your main light of defense. Yeah, sometimes we always refer of it about the human firewall, you know. And the very, very important thing that people sometimes are really overlooking, you have to select the right vendors. Again, as we said before, sometimes you are obliged by your type of business because you don't have a lot of possibility to select different vendors, but really try hard to select the right vendor that has something really about their product, about the cybersecurity of their product already from the beginning. That will be, for me, one of the big win that you can have already from the beginning. So legacy systems, yeah, we have it. What can we do? We have it everywhere. We have it in small company. We have it in big corporation. I mean, that's something normal because in OT, we were doing always like that. If it's working, I will not touch it. And also changing a system, it's sometimes very expensive because you cannot just change the PC that is not anymore possible to upgrade to Windows 11. If you change the PC, you probably have to change the software of your machine, and the software of your machine, it's very expensive. It's not something that you can buy for a cheap price. So yeah, OT system weren't built for cybersecurity, and vendor are not giving you a very good let's say, possibility of do patching and having support. So what can we do? Yeah, as always, isolation is the simplest protection. But today, unfortunately, we cannot do basically any more complete isolation, or what we called in the past air gapping, because machines need to be connected in some way to the IT systems. We have MES systems, we have ERPs, we want to do checking of the production, and yeah, even the older machines, sometimes we really want to have some kind of IoT device that is counting the pieces, doing some kind of learning for predictive maintenance. So that's not working anymore. But okay, we can consider that our line of production is kind of a black box. So it's something that we really can protect in the inside. So remove every kind of problematics like USB connection, like serial connection, and really leave it as again, as a kind of a black box where the only communication is the one that we want to do. This is really sometimes not that complicated as it seems, so it's really doable. And of course, yeah, we have to use firewall and proxies. That's the tendency, of course. Segmentation, we can do it with firewalls and proxies. And this is also helping us a lot on seeing the traffic that is going between the different side of the network. I always like to say, think about your restoring guy. So you want to restore a painting or an old building. You are not going to put it down completely. What you want to do is to wrap it up in some modern possibility. Yeah? And that is something that we can think about when we are working into the OT. We are kind of archaeologists working with very old things and trying to keep them in shape for the production to be safe. Very, very important topic for me. What happens when the alarm goes off? So what happened when we had a problem and we need to recover? This is a lot of time, or nearly always, even for big corporation, this is really not very well maintained. Incident response don't need to be complex, really. It's we go back again to the same thing. You need to have you just need to have something very clear, something that people are capable to follow without having to break their head on, oh my God, who should I phone? Who is responsible for this? What is happening? Where do we have to go? I mean, it's really something not that difficult. We can do it, but we are not doing it, unfortunately. So the classical is a basic incident response plan. Of course, should include who do I call, what is my point of contact, what do I have to shut down. So sometimes we think, okay, shut down everything and that's it. No, sorry, that's not working. If you see the example with the shortage of the grid in Spain, that was unfortunately the reaction of the systems. The system were looking into a problem and they decided to shut down everything. And the fact is that people were staying for nearly 1 day without power supply. So very important. How do we recover? Do we have backups? Are we capable to go back to production? And how are the communication handled internally and externally? By the way, you know that now we are also obliged by the NIS2 in Europe for some type of production to communicate when we had an incident, and that's a very strict obligation about that with very high fines. And remember, your plan doesn't need to be perfect, but at least you need to have it. That is not the problem is not taking you without any protection. Yeah, suggestion from my side, I'm using it. Don't do it alone. You don't have to do it alone. A lot of people are capable of supporting you. There are very good companies outside, and you can outsource things. You don't have to outsource everything, of course, that's not possible, but you can really outsource a lot of things, and it's really giving a lot of benefit. And sometimes it's even less expensive than we consider. And think that now our management, they are not really happy about having a lot of fixed cost, or people that are, let's say, increasing the number of people working, but they prefer to have a cost that it's possible to use when it's needed. So really think about that. You can outsource things. You can outsource network monitoring. You can outsource vulnerability assessment. You can outsource patching or at least tracking of the patching and so on. Remember, you are not giving away responsibility. People are worried about, okay, what will happen? Someone will come into my network and they will do something. No, you are adding some expertise that it will be very expensive for you to create. And that will make your environment safer and more sustainable. Good. So think about what will we do for the future. Modern OT can start secure. Yes, of course. If we build it that way. So if we start in the right way, we will go on in the right way. That's sure. So what can we do for the future? What is the trend that we can apply also for a small company? Zero trust for OT. Yes, of course. This is the golden standard that the practitioners like us that are working into the OT sector, they are thinking about, okay, nothing will be trusted. Always we will need authorization and authentication to enter some part of our network. Cloud-enabled OT management, remote monitoring and configuration in cloud platform are becoming very popular, and they are also less expensive than let's say the local, the on-premises and on-premises devices. AI-assisted threat detection, it's also something really on the rise. I mean, it's something where we can really use AI to filter the things that are happening and giving it back to a human SOC for the final decision. This, I think, it's really a very good idea. It's something that it's really becoming increasingly affordable. It's not that expensive anymore. And of course, think about secure by design devices. Okay, this is another, for example, is another norm that we have in Europe. The organization have to build devices that are secure by design, and it's coming back to the thing of selecting the right vendor. Select a vendor that is giving you this kind of security, not a vendor that is just saying to you, yeah, the machine is working, you don't have to worry, we will think about it. Yeah, I mean, this is what's happening to me every time, and I'm really pissed off about that, of people that are coming into your factory and they want to put things into the factory without having the minimum control on it. I had very recently an accident about that. So a vendor was coming with a PC connected to a machine, and before we connected to the PC to the system, we were scanning it, and we discovered there were a malware in a new PC that they are taking into the factory. So imagine, I mean, this is really something that is not acceptable anymore. And here, I think, especially the small company that can really be sometime more flexible than big corporation, you have a very good opportunity. Start small, start very new, and grow with a lot of security. That will be my advice. So what is the roadmap to OT security in 5 points for a small and medium company? Start with visibility. Again, as I said, this is you have to do it. This is kind of the first step. Is sometimes it's really taking a lot of time, and no one want to do it because it's not a very nice job, but you have to do it. Train your people all the time. Build awareness. They are your first line of defense. Don't forget about that. In every moment, think about your people, use them, use their expertise, and that's really a big recommendation. Do segmentation where you can. Yeah, if it's possible, do it all the time. It's not that expensive, it's not that difficult. You can use external to help you in that kind of topics. Be prepared for incidents. So this is really very important. We have to move from this idea of just thinking about, okay, I'm protecting. Yes, but in some moment, something will happen. Even if you are protecting, in some moment you will get hit by something. It don't even has to be an external big thing. It don't have to be a malware. It can even be a person in the factory that is doing something wrong because they don't get the right training again, or because yeah, sometimes we have also some disgruntled employee, but it's not really very common. So be prepared for incidents. It's a big recommendation. And build partnership with external that can help you in realizing your program in a better way. Yeah, I like this quote also. I've used it sometime, because for me it's very important. There are risk and cost to action, but they are far less than the long range of risk of comfortable inaction. So again, don't stay behind your finger and say, okay, no one will see me. That will not happen. I can assure you that will not happen. I have more than 20 years of experience working in the field, and yeah, I totally tell you, it will not happen. So be prepared, be willing to do things, be willing to put your effort into your company, and the result will come. I will assure you. So, okay, that's it from my side. I hope you liked this. I was trying to be kind of very, not very technical, more in the process side, in the way of how to do things, how to build things, because I also firmly believe that we have to go away a little from tools and from technical things and think a lot about the processes, because they are really the drivers of our companies, and we have to adapt to them if we want to speak about security into the OT area. Any question, I will be happy to answer.
Thanks for the presentation, Claudio. There is a question in the chat. Looks like there's also a comment for folks that want to look at that. But the question from Anand is how to protect air-gapped systems from malware, ransomware attacks. I guess that's a bit of a trick question.
It's a very good question, because it's happening. So people are taking a USB key from some place and put it into the air-gapped system, and suddenly they get a virus, they get a malware, and you don't even know it because they are not connected. So we're going back to the effect of the visibility. So I will advise to always try to make it, as I said, as a black box. So devices does not have to be accessible if they are not from a very specific person, from an engineer that is doing the programming on the PLC, or from someone that is really enabled to be assessed. And by the way, check all the time people that are coming to your factory and putting devices into your network or into your machines all the time. They are not doing it with, sometimes they're really not doing with bad intentions, but they are doing it. And then the problem is on you. That's the thing.
Yeah, absolutely. And never assume that air-gapped exists, because a lot of times it doesn't.
Yeah.
There's one more question from probably Hella. But hi, Claudio. Could you share some ideas for the simple response advices also being as simple and cultural strongly implemented like the seatbelt?
No, I didn't get really in sorry.
They're probably asking around just some ideas on how to look at what can you implement for incident response from
Okay.
maybe a simple, practical perspective.
Okay. So, I mean, again, incident response doesn't have to be complicated, but has to be very clear. And what we are doing, we are enabling a responsible person in the shop floor, in the OT area, that knows exactly what to do. And we have also a deputy, of course, it's very important. And we tend to do it really with papers, because it looks crazy, but I was into this kind of thing. So I had this problem, and then people are saying to you, yeah, open your computer and look into the process. Yeah, but the computer is not working for folks. So how can I open it? So you need really something that people can use firsthand. So what we are doing today, we are doing some plastic, let's say, processes, very, very perfect, very well done, very big character that everyone knows what to do. And we leave it in a, in a closet. And whenever a problem is coming, then they can go there and open it and read it. And we do also tabletops exercise about that, by the way.
Yes, practice, 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 right?
Yeah, practice all the time.
All right.
Never
Well,
stop.
it looks like that's all the time we have. So Claudio, thank you again very much for the time this morning and on the panel. So we appreciate that, and we'll let
Thank you.
everybody go so we can go ahead and jump into the next sessions. So thanks again.
So
Nice meeting
thanks
you, Claudio.
everyone for
Yeah,
your
thanks.
time. Bye-bye.